Good morning. I don't think I'm a brand new ambassador anymore, because this is my second time hosting very popular Korea Foundation breakfast forum already. So please don't introduce me as a brand new ambassador. I mean brand new president. Mr. Alec Senior Advisor for Innovation to the U.S. Secretary of State, Excellencies of Diplomatic Corps, former Minister Yoon Jong-gun, former Defense Minister Kim Tae-yong, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to extend my warmest welcome to all the participants of today's Korea Foundation Forum for joining us early this morning. I see this room full of diplomats, scholars, members of the policy-making community, journalists, and students. This shows how excited we all are to have Mr. Alec as our distinguished speaker today. It gives me a great pleasure and privilege to have this rare opportunity to hear from one of the most popular U.S. government officials, or in a SNS way of saying, most followed U.S. government official. I've just learned that he is number 3, having about 400,000 followers. Number 1 is President Obama, not so surprisingly. Number 2 is John McCain, and he is the 3rd. Ms. Ross spearheads Secretary Clinton's 21st century statecraft agenda, implementing and realizing the initiative into various creative and innovative digital diplomacy programs. I'm sure you all understand the changing trend in the international arena in the 21st century. Among those, I particularly take note of the increasing ubiquity and power of the global information networks and the louder voices of the civil society, both of which are driven by technological breakthroughs in communications. This changing international landscape has made so-called digital diplomacy all the more important than ever. Of course, many governments around the world have already recognized the implications of these crucial changes and making serious efforts to accommodate the changes into their diplomacy. But changing the way we do our business in diplomacy will not be an easy task. About 1.5 years ago, during my post in Canberra as an ambassador to Australia, I had an opportunity to speak about future diplomacy in the 21st century at one seminar actually hosted by the Diplomatic Corps in Canberra and ANU, the Australian National University. To prepare for my speech at that time, I came across Mr. Alec Ross's name and his work through a feature article in the New York Times. This article introduced to me a new powerful way of doing business in diplomacy. The article introduced that Alec Ross' Twitter post, quote, have become an integral part of a new State Department effort to bring diplomacy into the digital age by using widely available technologies to reach out to citizens, companies, and other non-state actors. Ms. Ross' style of engagement, best described as a cross between social networking culture and foreign policy arcana, reflects the hybrid nature of this approach. This article confidently pointed out that Alec Ross played a key role on opening the State Department's door to a new paradigm shift in doing business. Here I quote again the New York Times article. The name 21st century statecraft represents a shift in form and in strategy, a way to amplify traditional diplomatic efforts, develop technology-based policy solutions, and encourage cyber activism. In many ways, our way of practicing public diplomacy at the Korea Foundation is similar to that of 21st century statecraft. I believe that today's speech by Ms. Ross will provide us a good lesson on how we can harness our advanced technology and hyper-connectivity of Korea in service of our diplomatic goals, as well as resolving the global challenges we face. Now let me briefly introduce a handsome and intellectual man, young man in the State Department. I didn't want to say young man, but he already said that. So Prior to joining the State Department, Alec Ross co-founded in the year 2000, the NGO, One Economy, dedicated to closing the digital divide that was instrumental in pushing Arabic language content onto the web. Is that right? During the last presidential election period, he ran the day-to-day operations for the candidate Obama's technology, media, and telecommunication policy. And after winning the election, he joined the Obama-Biden presidential transition team. Now, he's a senior advisor for innovation to Secretary Clinton. And I found out this morning that he not only gave a lecture at ambassadorial meeting for American ambassadors in the United States, he also had a chance to give a lecture to Swiss ambassadors at the ambassadorial meeting in Switzerland. So he is very popular among diplomats and diplomatic corps. In 2011, he was named one of the top 100 global thinkers by Foreign Policy magazine. Now, please join me in welcoming Mr. Allegros.